That it will. As so, what are we talking about here today? A couple things. One is yesterday we talked about the Big Ten women's and MAC women's preseason polls, and while we aired that show yesterday, we were able to also take a look at the ACC, the Big 12, and and the Horizon League. And so today we'll talk about those three conferences, their preseason polls. We'll get into that here on the show. I know there's some things that you want to, but yesterday I had a chance, and I'm going to put this on the screen. I think this is important. Yesterday I had a chance. I went to the mall with my kids, and we went to this place. It's called Cosmic Collection Card, something like that, Nathan. And anyways, I picked up these Topps Chrome trading cards, MLS 2024, and then FIFA and their select 2025 trading cards. So I'm going to open these up today here in the studio, not necessarily on this show, and open them up. And hey, maybe if there are some good ones in here, that we might give these away as a prize. So we'll figure that out. But I thought it was a cool pickup for me yesterday. Whenever you can get your hands on some soccer stuff, it was pretty cool. Did I lose you officially now? Nathan, you there? Nope, we actually might have lost him. So what we'll do is we'll come back to me, and when Nathan comes back in, we'll dive in and have him join us. Again, sometimes technology, right? It can freeze up on you, so he'll continue to work on that. But so yesterday we talked about the Big Ten, and we talked about the MAC in regards to their preseason polls. The plan today was to get into and talk about the Horizon League, and that's where we were going to start first this morning. Hopefully, Nate will be back here in a moment. But what I want to do now is start talking about this, and the Horizon League, being a mid-major conference just like the MAC, is a conference that it can be very, very competitive. There's not a lot that would separate the top teams from the bottom teams, right? And if we talk about what happened last year in the Horizon League, specifically in regards to women's soccer, Milwaukee is the team that came away with the overall league championship, right? They had 31 total points. They were 10-0-1 in the conference. Northern Kentucky was just below them at 6. So those were the 1 and 2 seeds last year going into the Horizon League tournament. And then you had Detroit Mercy, Robert Morris with a 4-3-3 record. IU Indy was 14 points. They were 4-4-2. Purdue Fort Wayne was 4-6. Wright State 3-5-2. And again, if we continue to kind of talk about the Horizon League final, this is what it looked like. It was Horizon League Championship, Northern Kentucky versus Milwaukee. So you had your number 1 and number 2 teams. They were playing in that final, and just again a phenomenal environment to play a soccer game in here last year, taking place in Milwaukee. As we have the highlights there on the screen. You just can't say enough about, again, what the Horizon League has been able to do and what, has come from Milwaukee and Northern Kentucky's matchup here last year. Beautiful save, but then the back and put back in. Again, what a phenomenal game this game was. We still wait for Nathan to get back in.
Hey, you got me? Test 1 2 1 2 3. You got me? You got my audio?
I do have your audio. And I don't have your camera yet, though.
You got me now?
Yes, I do now. Yes, I
hey, look at that! All right.
So Milwaukee did win the championship game last year in the Horizon League. And obviously, when you win the Horizon League, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up ultimately becoming the preseason poll winner in most cases, and that's what they did here, right? And so Milwaukee, atop, the polls here, they expected to win the league here this year. Northern Kentucky, which again, very reminiscent. We look top to bottom. from the 2024 women's soccer standings, Milwaukee was first, Northern Kentucky second, Detroit Mercy was third, Robert Morris was fourth, IU, Indy, Purdue, Fort Wayne, right? The only thing different there is Wright State's popped over Purdue, Fort Wayne. And then you've got Green Bay, Oakland, which is over Youngstown State. And then you've got Cleveland State is where that. Now, Oakland finished dead last year. They were 2-8 overall in the Horizon League. And so, again, you can't say enough about this Milwaukee team. But Oakland, which is obviously here locally in Metro Detroit, I'm curious how they'll fare this season. They have a pretty good squad, but they took a step back here over the last couple of years after losing Wanpa.
And that is true. Listen, obviously Milwaukee's going to get the nod in the Horizon League to lead it because of what they've been able to do, right? 7 out of the last 8 years, they've been selected to finish first. An amazing run of 13 straight from 2000 to 2012. Like they've built a reputation in terms of being that team that's kind of the pace car within the Horizon League, and we've seen that. And Kevin Boyd, repeated the titles and took the Panthers back to the NCAA tournament. What was their 17th time in program history? In 23, did it again in 2024. And then obviously going back to what they did last year in what Lainey Higgins, the Horizon League Player of the Year honor. She was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, she was someone that kind of carried the weight for that team. Parker Donahue, goalkeeper of the year, which we know we talk about this all the time. If you want to win championships and if you want to get deep into the postseason, that's what it starts. Like, you have to be strong in goal. And if there's one thing that Milwaukee has proven, it's that they have a level of consistency in that place. Kayla Rollins, repeat selection as Horizon League Offensive Player of the Year. So they have all their bases. In addition, I mean, they have 6 first-team all-league selections. That's the most in program history at Milwaukee. So I think someone like Detroit Mercy can certainly give them a push, a run for their money. I think there are other teams within that league that could certainly really kind of push them in a lot of ways. But it reminds me of, I do games within the GLIAC, and we always talk about in Division II, Grand Valley State is the team. They're the program. And so there are going to be teams that maybe push them a little bit. But, man, it's going to be hard to overcome just the complete nature of what the makeup of this team is. I think this game is so much built on roster construction. I mean, if you have the right roster construction, that's going to win you more championships and get you more opportunities than a lot of other programs. And so I'm not saying that there isn't good individual pieces on other teams within the Horizon League that'll be able to push them or give them a challenge. But do you have the endurance to stack up against a squad like that and give yourself an opportunity to be in a championship situation? I mean, I think it's the easy option to say that they're going to run away with a title. And here's the thing with especially when it comes to standings, and I know we're going to touch on Big 12 and ACC coming up here, but the future standings, what we see right now is built off of reputation. It's built off of resume. Like, what have you done to this point to prove to people that you deserve to be in that position? Milwaukee's done everything. So I don't really know who in that league is going to be able to push them out of that position, or who's going to be able to take the throne from them. But right now, I think Milwaukee is 100% the natural selection in this situation in order to be the team that emerges out of the Horizon League. They have all of their bases covered with exactly what they have going on. So I think, if we're making predictions on this show today, I think Milwaukee is still the runaway choice to get out of the Horizon League and to do what they need to do to get back to the NCAA tournament. I definitely see a third straight year in which they're in that position.
Yeah, Doug, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that, again, if we talk about what Milwaukee is all about, I think that this is a team that is a force to be reckoned with, and they've done a really good job of winning soccer games and getting atop the table and ultimately winning a championship, right? And so then going on into the NCAA tournament, that's a whole other level, right? We talked about that yesterday on this show. Getting into the dance, so to speak, is the prize that you get when you win your tournament, right? And so and that's where teams like Milwaukee will struggle, in the NCAA tournament. because again, you're talking about who you're facing. You're facing the likes of really, really good teams, and so I think that Milwaukee is a great team, and I do believe that they will be a force to be reckoned with here again this season. I also do believe that Oakland, who is again in the Horizon League on this here in Metro Detroit, it's a team that is on the rise, and I know that where they're currently, they're positioned, right? We put it on the screen, we'll show it here again, where they are currently positioned, right? And right there at number 9, tied for 9th. I think this is a team that, some good things can come of what is going on in Oakland, and so I feel like they might do way better than what this is. And again, I could be wrong. They finished last year, but Anyways, Michael Lathrop says, "Good morning, gentlemen." So, well, good morning back to you.
What's up, Michael?
We are going to figure out a way to get your comments on our screen here. It's something that we are going to work on. It is something with the new technology that we're using for our show to produce our show. It is going to just take some time. So, but it is something that is on my agenda of things to accomplish here over the next couple of days. So, but yeah, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. We do have breaks now, Nathan.